really good young talent, and the support he has in this city, by the way, is unbelievable. But Devin Haney is world class. You can't mix those two, yet. Who knows? If the bad blood continues and Joe Law starts winning British titles and European titles, that's a fight we could look at. But first things first, get through his sixth rounder on Saturday night.
I mean, there's 4 Geordies on this card.
Yeah.
Does that mean we're going to be seeing a lot more shows here in Newcastle in the future?
Well, I think there's more than 4 Geordies. There's probably about 6 or 7 Geordies on this card. Everything is run by the main event. Without that main event and that star name, you can't bring the big televised shows to the region. I thought we'd lost it against Patera. I thought we'd blown our chance. Now he's come back with 2 wins. You guys have just continuously supported him, and then all of a sudden, now we're talking about if Josh Taylor wins next Saturday and Lewis Ritson wins, that is a St James's Park fight written all over it. So I know I like to talk a lot and sort of build these big dreams, but we are actually only 9 days away from the possibility of that happening. Robbie Davies Jr. is a great fighter. It's not going to be easy. We saw Patera. I believe that Robbie Davies Jr. is a better fighter than Patera. So I think it's going to be difficult for Lewis Ritson, difficult for everybody. But I believe it's going to be a great fight.
Now, Ted Cheeseman taking on Scott Fitzgerald. Another person on the card, Kieran Conway. You told me at York Hall when Kieran Conway fought Cheeseman, you'd be looking to work with him again. So you've got sort of a monopoly on these light middleweights with Fowler as well. They can all surely fight each other.
That's what we want. I mean, we want the winner of Saturday night to fight Anthony Fowler, and probably the loser of Saturday night to fight Kieran Conway. And Kieran's in an 8-rounder on Saturday. He's a very good young talent. I can't wait for Fitzgerald against Cheeseman. Another brilliant fight. I haven't got a clue what's going to happen. Nancy Fowler will be there, waiting in the wings for maybe a rematch or maybe a British title shot against Ted Cheeseman.
Eddie, can I just ask a couple of questions? Yes, no. So, Believe in Bruce, I put a body language video on YouTube 4 days ago about KSI Logan Paul. It's got 150,000 views.
Right.
So this is going off the map. There is some great energy about this. I think it's an indicator that it is an entertainment business. I've got some questions here from the YouTubers. Just 2 questions, if you would answer them. One with 163 thumbs up. So ask him, will you ever hold a YouTube-only boxing event?
Never say never, but I have to say, at the moment, this is a one-off. But since I've made the fight, I'm getting so much stick in my DMs from YouTube fans. Make Jake Paul against Gibb. Make Faye Sensei against someone else. So Dylan Dennis against someone else. A lot of them can fight. Some of those guys that I mentioned have actually had MMA fights. I mean, they're proper fighters. It's not an intention of mine to become a YouTube boxing promoter, but I do recognise the draw and the attraction of these names, and also the number of subscriptions that they can do for a subscription business like Dazn, where the fight's being staged. But I only really want to do stuff that's licensed by the commission, where we do have the proper medical stuff in place, drug testing, that kind of stuff, because it is dangerous. But more importantly, it has to be credible. I don't want 2 guys who can't fight going in there and making a mockery of the sport. These guys can fight. They're training hard with proper trainers. They've fought before in front of 20,000. They've undergone all the right medicals. They've been licensed by the commission. So we'll leave this one for now. Jake Paul might be making a little appearance at some point, and he can fight as well.
And the second question, last question, is obviously with the new environment. Maybe you and Adam Smith come across a little nervous with the new YouTube audience when you're doing that press conference as well. So there's a bit shift from a boxing environment to something that's brand new for you. It is the question: will you ever replace Michael Buffer with the true Geordie?
Well, I'll tell you the reason that I was nervous, because there was about £60 in coins being thrown at the stage. A packet of condoms whizzed past my head. A tub of Vaseline hit me on the knee. A hymn book came flying on the stage. So I was thinking, I just want to get out of here without taking one on the nut. So I thought True Geordie was brilliant. And actually, I'm so glad I used him, because for the first press conference in LA, I was looking at everyone going, what is going on here? So last week, I just went, right, True Geordie, take it away, bye. And he was great. That's his world. Now, this is a different fan base. Those people don't know me. It's not like me doing a boxing press conference. I was walking around that arena. No one had a clue who I was. Felt like No Context Hearn all over again. So looking forward to the fight, and looking forward to, understanding this new audience.
Brilliant, thank you, Eddie.
Eddie, last one from me. At the KSI Logan Paul press conference, Dillian White said that he is looking to get out in December. I know you can't say too much in the situation, but we are towards the end of October. Is that realistic in your opinion?
Yeah, he can fight tomorrow. I mean, I still want UK had to issue a statement, as we all do, but we kind of, our hands are tied, frustratingly, by a process. But there's no reason why he can't fight. You know, he was cleared to fight on that July 20th card. He's not suspended, he's not banned, he's not anything. So he can fight, and he may well do so before the end of December.
Eddie, how likely is it that Billy Joe Saunders can fight Triple G possibly next year?
Yeah, I think, you know, he's in the mix for all of those fights. I think he has to get past Caceres, and then his next fight has to be against Canelo, Triple G, Callum Smith, Demetrius Andrade or Danny Jacobs. So huge fights coming for Billy in 2020.
And Kell Brook, we haven't seen much of him for a while. Is he likely to come back?
Yeah, we're
anytime
looking
soon,
at hopefully getting him out in December. So it won't be the mega fight that he's after, but he needs to get out. You know, it's 10 months since he boxed, so we need to make sure that he gets out, gets ready, and you know, he wants to be put in all those big fights.
You said it was last chance saloon for Kell Brook. Have you made any progress in negotiations?
Small. We're still a long way away.
Eddie, just a quick one from me. Of course, we've got the likes of April Hunter, Joe Laws, Savannah Marshall. There's a lot of North East talent on this card. How important is it for Matchroom to help promote these local fighters when you are doing such big shows?
Very, because you know they're the future. So Lewis Ritson's great. He's selling out the arena, but we need to bring through the Joe Laws, the April Hunters, the people that can support the shows, sell the ticket. If you're a Geordie and you're coming to a show in Newcastle, you want to watch Geordie fighters. It's not, you know, but we've got a great card. The mix of this card is so perfect. That's why it's sold so well.
Big night for Savannah Marshall as well. Of course, it's the first time fighting actually properly in the North East for a good number of years. How can you see her 2020 being?
She needs to fight for a world title, I believe, next, and she needs to fight Clarissa Shields in 2020. Good fight for her on Saturday, tough girl. But again, beyond this level, there isn't really anyone else other than the world champions.
And can we expect to see more Matchroom in Newcastle?
Absolutely. I mean, we'll see if Lewis Ritson wins.
Right. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
So if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.